Alright, so I'm pretty sure I want these 18. As you can see, we've got Pith Driller and Skin Render and Blinding Soul Eater, plus Flesh Allergy, Arrest, and Revoke Existence, and Virulent Wound for removal. So the question is whether we want the red splash and the implied hit on our mana consistency enough to include what is essentially 2 more removal spells. Probably, since we don't have a mirror, gotta play 17 lands with this deck. It does not have a lot of early drops. As you can see, I have no early creatures, although eventually I will, because I'm either going to add... I have 5 slots, so I can add Shikari's plus Life Staff with the red creatures, or I can add like Suture Priest and Sky Hunter with the red cards, or I can add like some mix of the white cards and just get the consistent mana. Against slow controlling decks, we should have the card advantage to just grind them out. Although if they have big bombs like Wormcoil Engine or whatever, we may be in a little bit of trouble. Which is an argument for mana consistency. Against fast infect decks with things like Blighted Agent, we may find ourselves pretty far behind pretty early. I'm trying to remember, we pass a lot of decent stuff that can kill Suture Priest, like a couple of Virulent Wounds and things like that. We only have 11 creatures in the deck now, so you could argue that maybe like Sky Hunter and one of the priests and these 3 cards, if we bring those down, then this would be our deck. And then we've got a lot more early game, and Life Staff helps with trading. We go up to 15 creatures. I'm just not sure about this card, and maybe I shouldn't have taken 2 if I wasn't gonna play it. But and this is kind of risky too. I think Sky Hunter can't go in if the red goes in for sure. But I also think, because except for the Hippogriff, we've got all single white mana cards. So we've got a lot of cards that reward us for playing extra black. So this would be like a 10 swamp, 7 plains kind of deck. If I add the red cards, it's going to have to be like 9 swamps, 6 plains, 2 mountains. Is that good? I mean, the power level of a card like Red Sun Zenith is very, very high, especially compared to these other cards. I think I'm actually gonna run them. So that gives us a Burn the Impure here and a Red Sun Zenith kind of off the curve. And then I can add land. I'm gonna play only 6 plains though. That seems a little greedy. Even so, that's 1 every 7 cards ish. We do have 2 Phyrexian Ragers. Man, maybe I should just run 1 mountain and run just the Red Sun Zenith. I don't know about that. But we don't have a whole lot of card draw. We do have a little bit. Unfortunately, we did not manage to pick up a Mycosynth Wellspring, or that would make this a lot easier. Ultimately, there's only 1 card we have that needs more than 1 plains. The question is going to be, are we going to have hands with no plains because we're running these mountains? And, well, if I weren't running the red, only 1 of these mountains would be a plains. The other one would be a swamp. So I actually don't think... I think we're just going to have to go for it, because our deck is pretty underpowered, and so it needs... Like, there's no Steel Hellkites, there's no Mirror Battle Spheres. Like, our biggest guy is like a 4/2. We definitely have to play this guy though, because we don't have any real ways of dealing with flyers other than like spending Arrest or whatever on them. We should have the ground game pretty well gummed up. And so I'm actually gonna play one Shikari and one Suture Priest and the Life Staff, because we don't really want to run two Shikaris with only 2 equipments and one of the equipments costing 6. But I don't think I want to run 2 Suture Priests either, and I'm not going to play the Sky Hunter in a 3-color deck. So we'll start from here. I'm definitely flexible, but we'll just see how that goes.